90% of people still read print books. Ebooks are beginning to fade as people return to reading paper books. Print is part of the human past, present, and future. As someone who is an extremely avid reader, I tried out the whole ebook situation thinking that it would be a lot easier and simpler. So I bought myself a Kindle, was thinking I wouldn't have to go into the store all the time. I can just buy a book with one click. However, I wasn't able to get into books as much when it was on the Kindle, and I really missed holding the actual paper book. But soon bookstores began closing. For example, Borders. It was kind of the rivalry with Barnes & Noble. So I became interested in how and why printed books should be kept alive. To convince you why the printing of books should be continued and maintained, I will explain and defend 3 areas. 1 is the economic benefits of printed books. 2 is the societal and historical benefits. And 3 is the lack of negative impact on the environment. Let's begin with the economic benefits of printed books. The economic benefits, for one, is it creates jobs. It takes people, like actual people, to complete the printing process, which creates more jobs. And then after the printing process has been completed, you then go to the actual bookstores. You need people and associates to sell the books, to stock the bookshelves, and everything such as that, creating more jobs. And we know in our day and age that jobs are needed. So it creates a job market for people. Whereas the ebooks, that doesn't create as much of a job market. You're not trying to produce as many ebooks as you are printed books. You sell them online. It's not something that you buy in stores all the time. So it creates a lot more jobs if we continue to print books. Second, it's not a very large cost difference. The cost of a book, the total cost of a book, is only 8% of it is from printing. Therefore, when you buy a book on ebooks, say it was $20-some, it might be $3 cheaper. It might be that's max. Otherwise, it'll be maybe $2 to $1 cheaper, and that doesn't make a huge difference. And I think that 8%, that couple of dollars, is worth helping our economy. So we've talked about how printed books help and affect the economy. Now let's consider how it affects societal and historical aspects. Students is a huge, think about it. Nowadays, getting your college degree is the equivalent of getting your high school diploma 20 years ago. So there's a lot more students out there, and being a student is a huge part of our society today. And there's actually been proven research that students are more likely to buy print books over printed books / textbooks over free ebooks. One, because they believe that it has more useful information if it's printed and it's not online. Because online is so easy to access. It's so free, it's easy, that sometimes you really do get the fake news. However, if it is a printed book, it tends to have more authentic information in it. Also, there has been research to prove that people comprehend less information when it is presented digitally as opposed to when it is presented on a piece of paper. Second, 87% of textbook purchases are on paper copies. One of my favorites, kind of a little conspiracy theory of mine, but if technology were to ever fail us, if our internet were to go out, if we no longer had power, it takes natural resources for power. If, say, we have no more power, there's no way to charge our Kindles, there's no way to charge anything that would have the ebooks on it, we are going to be losing all of that information. We'll be destroying our current time of history so it doesn't exist. I know that we still do print books, but if we were to stop printing them altogether, it would destroy our current history line. Now we've talked about the economy, society, and future history. Now let's discuss one of the biggest issues people have with printing books, the impact it has on the environment. It doesn't necessarily have a negative impact on the environment anymore. There's these things now called paper tree farms, and it's this huge thing where trees are specifically planted to be cut down for paper. Therefore, forests are no longer being destroyed. There's no longer the destroying of natural habitats. It is now specifically purposed for that, and because we are creating these tree farms, we are now putting up trees that are helping with the environment. It's taking in the CO2 and putting out more oxygen. So the more we plant these tree farms, the better. The actual reasons for deforestation, none of them have to do with paper. The top reasons for deforestation are cattle ranching. So if you're really worried about deforestation with the rainforest, or with anything for that matter, cut back on your meat eating. Second is logging, so to make furniture. That's another big reason for deforestation. They want to make, you know, very specific kinds of furniture, fancy furniture. That's a huge part for deforestation. Agriculture is another huge part. Mining, oil companies, and dams all cause deforestation. Those are the main causes of deforestation, not paper. So the continuance of printing paper books is essential. The economy would and does benefit from the jobs it creates. The societal impact for future generations on retaining information is instrumental for the future of the world, and the negative impact on the environment is no longer a suitable argument against the printing of books. More than 32 million books are currently in print and has been a long and important piece of human history. Let's continue that tradition in our future.